Space Shuttle. Cost per launch. Approximately $1.5 billion. Starship. Cost per launch. Approximately $2 million. Okay, this is a huge difference. But the cost of the rocket launch itself doesn't tell us too much. In the space industry, the much more important thing is the cost of launching 1 kilogram into space. When the space shuttle was in operation, it could launch a payload of 27,500 kilograms, so it means that the cost per launch 1 kilogram was about $54,500. Starship will be able to carry up to 150 metric tons, and according to the Elon Musk assumption cost per launch, 1 kilogram will be even as low as $13. Of course, the Starship is still in the testing phase, and that $13 per kilogram isn't a final price. However, even if we assume that this expected price is just positive thinking of Elon Musk, and we increase the price, for example, 10 times after $100, it is still a low price, especially when we compare this to the space shuttle. How is it possible that a private company was able to reduce the cost of space transportation that much? And what makes a Starship so cheap? About this and much more in today's video. Starship is a revolutionary thing in the entire space industry. It will reduce the cost of transporting cargo and people into space, enable Earth-to-Earth passenger spaceflight, put humans on the moon, and also it will be used to transport the first crewed mission to Mars. Before we answer the question, why Starship is so cheap, let's take a closer look at the rocket itself. The Starship system is made of 2 parts. The Starship spacecraft is stocked on a rocket booster called Super Heavy. The first stage of the Starship system, named Super Heavy Booster, will be bringing the Starship spacecraft to the Earth's orbit. For this purpose, the booster will be using a 37 Raptor engine, powered by subcooled liquid methane and liquid oxygen propellants. After lifting into orbit, the booster and the spacecraft will separate, and the Super Heavy Booster will be returning to the land at the launch site. After that, Starship spacecraft will be able to transport a cargo or crew to the target destination and then return to the Earth. As you can see, both the Starship spacecraft and Super Heavy Booster are fully reusable, so they can be used many times without any problem. Reusability is the first factor, which causes the Starship is able to transport cargo into space at such affordable prices. Up to this moment, NASA has been using rockets which were designed for only one launch. The rocket was launched into space, and then rocket debris burned up during re-entry the atmosphere or fell down into the ocean. This way of launching cargo into space was a huge waste of money, and it was causing enormous prices of space transportation. One Starship rocket would be used many times, which means that the cost of rocket production will be split between many spaceflight. In the case which, for example, SpaceX will be able to launch 50 Starship spaceflights, the cost of Starship production will be split between 50 clients. Finally, only a small part of the production costs will be included in the price of one spaceflight. Reusability isn't the only factor which causes that the new SpaceX rocket can offer such low prices for space transportation. The second crucial thing is the production process, or more precisely, the construction material, which was chosen during the designing process. The best example of that is stainless steel, which is the main material used in Starship construction. Apart from the fact that thanks to the use of stainless steel, Starship looks so shiny, it also has other important advantages. By choosing stainless steel for the production of Starship, the entire production process of the rocket can be faster and much cheaper than with other materials. For comparison, the cost of a kilogram of carbon fiber, the material originally planned for the production of Starship, is around $200, whereas a kilogram of stainless steel only costs $3. The whole Starship rocket system is 120 meters high, 9 meters in diameter, and its weight 5,000 tons. So you can imagine how much money SpaceX will be able to save in the production process, thanks to using stainless steel. Apart from stainless steel, there are also other construction elements which will save SpaceX money. The thing worth mentioning is the propulsion system of Starship, or more precisely, the fuel mixture which was chosen to power the rocket. Liquid oxygen and liquid methane is not a very common rocket fuel in the space industry, but SpaceX chose this option for several good reasons. First of all, this fuel mixture burns cleanly, and thanks to this, the Starship can be fast prepared for its next use. The second big advantage of this fuel is its weight. It has a lower density than other rocket fuels, and therefore, it is also lighter. Thanks to the lower weight of the fuel, Starship is able to launch more payload into orbit, which also affects the price of the one spaceflight. Thanks to all these factors, Starship can significantly reduce the price of transporting cargo into space and therefore make space exploration much easier. I have talked a lot about the prices of cargo transportation, but keep in mind that SpaceX will use a Starship also for another purpose. If a SpaceX team will reduce the price of cargo transportation, they will also be able to reduce the cost of human transportation. Thanks to this and its full reusability, Starship has a chance to become the space equivalent of the plane. SpaceX has already announced Interplanetary Transport System, which enables Earth-to-Earth passenger spaceflight. As SpaceX itself tells us, Starship will be capable of taking people from any city to any other city on Earth in under 1 hour. In addition, the new SpaceX rocket will be transporting humans far beyond the Earth to the destinations like ISS, Moon, or even Mars. Actually, the low price of the Starship has already attracted some customers. Recently, NASA revealed that it has chosen SpaceX Starship as the lander that will bring 2 Americans to the Moon's surface in 2024. This means that NASA, in collaboration with SpaceX, will put humans on the Moon for the first time in over 50 years. If you are interested in more content related to Starship, I invite you to watch my previous video in which I answer the questions, what's inside a Starship?